Hello there friends, welcome back for another video here on my YouTube channel. This is Cassie. Today we are going to be trying something new. We are going to be doing a series called Fun Fold Friday, and today is Friday, at least the day I am doing this recording, and so we're going to do a fun fold. It's going to be an easy one, and the goal is to do them every other Friday because I don't want to overwhelm myself. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's get started. We are going to be using this Insta-Snap stamps and dies. This is from Trinity Stamps. It was just recently released, and I just thought this would be a really cute one to start out with. I was actually inspired by some patterned paper, and so I had to use these images. So I've gone ahead and stamped them out onto some Express It cardstock. I used my blackout ink by Ink on 3 to stamp out all those images. That is an alcohol marker friendly combination. As you can see, I am using my alcohol markers. Now these are the Olos. I do have Copics as well, and I love them both. They work well together. And so I'm doing a red camera. And I don't know that there's actually a red camera out there, but this just made me happy. And like I said, I was inspired by some patterned paper. And I recently started pulling out my patterned paper just because I did a challenge earlier. I don't know if you watched the video on my channel earlier from the Kendra's Card Challenge, and that was so much fun to bring in the patterned paper that it really inspired me to pull it out again for a fun fold. And so that's why you can get a lot of inspiration from pattern papers, even if you don't actually use them on your card, the colors of the patterns, because if you're anything like me, sometimes I can't just pull out inspiration from thin air, and so being inspired by those things around me, for example, pattern papers, are a good place to find that inspiration. All right, so I'm going to color up the rest of my camera, and it was super fun to do these little images. I'll color the hearts next, and I'm just using 2 colors for those. I'm not going to show you the coloring of that tiny little picture because it's actually really simple, basic stuff. Again, using just inspiration from my pattern papers. But this was so cute how it all turned out. And yeah, now I'm going to bring in the matching dies to go along with it. And there are matching dies even for the words. I love that about Trinity Stamps, because oftentimes with their dies, they have matching ones for the sentiments. It just makes me happy when that is the case. So I'm going to tack down all of those using some mint tape, and they even go around the words. Oh, that just is fun. It's fun. So they're all cut out, and now we're going to bring in that pattern paper. I'm going to slow this down just a little bit. We have a 6x6 piece of patterned paper. This is a very old pattern paper. I couldn't even tell you, what it is, but I loved it. So we're going to cut off 1 inch. I'm going to kind of put that stuff up on the screen for you. We're just going to cut off 1 inch off of one of those sides. So now it is a 5 inch by 6 inch. So then we're going to put it into our Scor-Buddy, and we're going to score it at 2 1/4 inches. And it works best if you have a pattern on both sides of your paper because you're going to see both. So I would highly recommend picking one of those pattern papers that has something on both sides. And so we're just going to reinforce that score line. And so closed up, that's going to measure 3 3/4 by 5 inches. That's awesome. And then I'm going to take this extra piece, we're going to flip it over, and we'll glue it on the inside. So barely any of that 6x6 is wasted. You'll just have a little square left. You could save it if you wanted, waste not, want not, whatever you want to do. I'm going to trim off the excess from that. And then we'll have this cute little piece that can go on the front of a card panel. And I have 2 pieces of cardstock, and those I've got those measurements up on the screen for you. The yellow is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and the other one is the same size as an A2, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we're going to glue the yellow onto the blue, and then we're going to glue our little pattern piece onto the yellow, and we have this nice little border around all of those, and it brings in all of those colors. You'll notice I have 2 circles. You might want 3 depending on how you want to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and glue the one on the inside. And yes, it's going to stick through. That's okay. That one on the inside is for my sentiment or whatever I want to write to the recipient. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on that left-hand side of the other circle and then make sure that it overlaps the circle on the inside so that it covers it. But like I said, you might want to add a 3rd one so that if you want to get rid of that seam on the inside on the left-hand side, you could do that as well. Now we'll bring in our pieces that we colored and die cut out, and I'm going to use some foam tape on the back of those, and we'll peel off that release paper, and we'll put the camera down right in the center of our circle, and then I'm going to use just a little bit of foam tape on our I'm not a photographer. And then on the inside, we'll put, but I can picture us together, which is such a cute sentiment. We'll put that on the inside. We've got those 3 little hearts. We're going to add those around as well. The thing about putting anything on the inside is whatever you put, if it's, you always want to keep closing it up to make sure that it either doesn't show if you don't want it to, or that it does show if you want it to. In this case, I didn't want any of those to show except this little heart. So I'm going to put that on the outside. And then this one's going to be attached to the front a little bit. I'm going to show you the card, but I don't end up stopping there. I do come in with these really pretty gold star embellishments, and I'm going to mix those up on there using my pickup stick, and it's just, yeah, check those out. Doesn't that look good? It goes well with a camera too. That's the inside of the card, and I did make another one using the same patterned paper pad, and so I have this as well. Say cheese, we click. And I'm so happy with how these turned out. So let me know what you think. Are you interested in a fun fold Friday like I am? Leave that down in the comment section down below. Tell me what you liked about these cards as well. And I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.